Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's U.S. lawyer have a message for us, as he sent a warning and also a direct letter to Justice, or rather Injustice James Omotosho, as he demands for immediate dismissal of charges against the IPOB leader for lack of jurisdiction. Anyway, my wonderful people, viewers and subscribers, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Anyway, this is the message you are going to hear as we move forward, because this morning, in fact, it's going to be fire for fire. YouTube, let me use this opportunity to denounce whatever background music you may hear from the clip I'm about to play to my people. I have no right to the copyright of it, so please take note. Oh yeah, my people, let's go there. As you're watching, kindly like, share, comment, and keep subscribing for more interesting videos. In fact, we are also going to post the video in our in our Facebook page. So there, please follow me, just like the village people always follow you. And my God must surely bless you as you do all this. So let us go straight to the reason why we are here this morning.
Nnamdi Kanu's U.S. lawyer, Bruce Fein, writes, Justice Omotosho demands dismissal of charges against IPOB leader for lack of jurisdiction. Bruce Fein, the United States counsel to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has written to Justice James Omotosho of Nigeria's Federal High Court in Abuja, demanding the dismissal of all charges against the IPOB leader on grounds of lack of jurisdiction. In a letter dated October 28, 2025, entitled Dismissal of Prosecution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for Lack of Jurisdiction, Fein argued that the Nigerian government should not benefit from what he described as its own criminality in the process that led to Kanu's rendition to Nigeria. No government should profit from its own criminality. That has been binding law from time immemorial, Fein wrote, invoking the principle that justice is the foundation of government and civil society. Citing the 1928 opinion of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Louis D. Brandeis in Olmstead v. United States, Fein emphasized that governments undermine the rule of law when they themselves break it. In a government of laws, the existence of the government will be imperiled if it fails to observe the law scrupulously. Our government is the potent, omnipresent teacher. For good or for ill, it teaches the whole people by its example. Crime is contagious. If the government becomes a lawbreaker, it breeds contempt for law. It invites every man to become a law unto himself. It invites anarchy. To declare that, in the administration of the criminal law, the end justifies the means. To declare that the government may commit crimes in order to secure the conviction of a private criminal would bring terrible retribution, Fein quoted from Justice Brandeis' ruling. Fein argued that both the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention and Nigerian courts have recognized that the federal government committed multiple crimes in bringing Kanu into Nigerian custody, including kidnapping, torture, and extraordinary rendition. According to Fein, these constitute jus cogens crimes under international law, offenses so grave that no state can lawfully commit them, and therefore strip Nigerian courts of any jurisdiction to continue prosecuting Kanu. He cited paragraph 107 of the UN Working Group's July 20th, 2022 opinion, which directed the Nigerian government to grant the immediate unconditional release of Kanu. Fein further warned Justice Omotosho that continuing the case would implicate the court in the alleged illegalities of Kanu's rendition. If you refrain from dismissing all outstanding charges against Mr. Kanu for lack of jurisdiction, you will be legally implicated in the crimes perpetrated by the government of Nigeria in bringing Mr. Kanu before your tribunal, he wrote. You will be vulnerable to prosecution before the International Criminal Court. You will have been unfaithful to your professional duty to see that justice is done. The Nigerian government has maintained that Kanu faces terrorism-related charges before the Federal High Court in Abuja, though his lawyers insist that his abduction and forced transfer from Kenya render the entire prosecution illegal. The letter comes amid an ongoing standoff in Kanu's trial before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The IPOB leader has refused to enter his defense, insisting that the court lacks jurisdiction to try him because of his extraordinary rendition from Kenya in June 2021. Kanu's legal team has maintained that since his rearrest and forcible return to Nigeria violated both domestic and international law, any subsequent proceedings amount to an abuse of court process. His special Nigerian counsel, Barrister Aloy Ejimakor, has consistently argued that the government's disobedience of multiple court orders, including those granting bail and directing his release, further strips the court of its moral and legal authority. Justice Binta Nyako, who has presided over earlier phases of the trial, had ruled that Kanu must stand trial despite his objections, prompting appeals and renewed motions challenging jurisdiction. The case was later transferred to Justice Omotosho for further proceedings. Kanu has remained in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, in Abuja since June 2021, when he was renditioned to Nigeria from Kenya by the Nigerian authorities, an action a Kenyan court has ruled against. His continued detention and the Nigerian government's handling of his case have drawn widespread criticism from human rights organizations and international observers. Fine, a former U.S. Associate Deputy Attorney General, continues to represent Kanu internationally and has repeatedly called for sanctions against Nigerian officials over alleged violations of international law.
That is the message from Bruce Fein, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's international lawyer, and also Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's U.S. lawyer. Anyway, the message is very, very clear, understandably. All he said on that clip is truth and nothing but the truth. Unless you have a biased mindset, that is when you will begin to counter everything that this man says on this clip. But if you have, if your mindset is upright, you will know that Bruce Fein have hit the nail on the head. Well, anyway, let's proceed with other headlines we have here this morning. Governor Nwifuru don't join the league of those who want, or rather the league of those who is condemning the Igbo nation, just like what Soludo did the other day. It seems like all these governors have come together in unison just to work against the populace of Biafra land, because they will only join hands in unity each time they want to do evil against the people they sworn to protect. So more gonna hear what Governor Nwifuru said. He said, Governor Nwifuru backs proposed creation of new state in Southeast, which is not what we wanted at this point in time. It is not what we wanted. So any other person who is not aligning with the ideology of Biafra nation or Igbo nation is totally against the populace of that region called the Biafra land. Let us go straight to the reason, or rather to read what this monkey have said. Governor Francis Nwifuru of Ebonyi State has given full support for the creation of a new state in the Southeast Zone, describing it as a necessity to correct the long-standing imbalance in Nigeria's federal structure. Nwifuru stated this while briefing newsmen shortly after the State Executive Council meeting held at the Executive Council Chambers, New Government House, Centenary City, Abakaliki. He said the Southeast deserved an additional state to bring it to a pair with other geopolitical zones in the country. Yes, I would like another state to be created in the Southeast because it is a necessity for the region, Nwifuru stated. It will help to address the imbalance we have seen over the years. The Southeast remains the only region in Nigeria with 5 states, while others have 6 or more. A situation that leaders from the zone have long described as politically disadvantaged. Reacting to the speculations that Ebonyi State may lose 3 local government areas to the proposed new state, Governor Nwifuru declined to make any categorical comment, saying he had not received any official communication on that very particular matter. I am no longer in the legislature, I am now in the executive. He said, I have not seen any documents on that, and I cannot respond to a document I did not see. On the issue of youth using social media to insult stakeholders and elders, the governor expressed concern over the growing trend, warning that such behavior was unbecoming and culturally unacceptable. People are crashing out, Nwifuru noted. Our youths are venturing into insulting their elders, but they should know the traditional outcomes of insulting their elders. That outcome, God will punish them. There is no traditional outcome of siphoning money that are meant for the state, for you and your cronies alone. But there is a traditional outcome on those who complained about that very particular attitude. Thunder will fire all of honor. Anyway, the last but not the least, we will keep insurgents running. There will have no time to plan attack. AVM and AK, these are also another iflif working under the zoo. Newly confirmed chief of the Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sunday Kevin Aneke, has pledged to lead a versatile, disciplined, and leader Nigerian Air Force, capable of keeping insurgents running without time to think or plan. He stated this during his confirmation before the National Assembly on October 29 of 2025. Adding, I use the word lethal in a professional sense, he explained, because a man running from you will not have the time to plan to hurt you or to attack you. Air Commodore Ehime Ejodeme, Director of Public Relations and Information Headquarters, Nigerian Air Force, in a statement said the CAS further noted that his leadership vision is anchored on training, technology, safety, and strategic innovation, emphasizing that the true military power is not measured by brute force, but by superior intellect and adaptability. The statement added that the new CAS vowed to build an air force that responds swiftly, strikes precisely, and acts intelligently across all spectrums of military operations. A force defined not only by strength, but by precision, professionalism, and purpose. And here comes the end of the message. Have a nice day, and may the good Lord continue to bless us. Like, share, comment, and make sure you keep subscribing for more interesting videos.